Vlogmas episode 5. I'm sitting here at the computer. I put some fireplace, even though it's freaking cold in here. But here is where I sit to edit, and I just finished editing a Vlogmas episode, the 4th episode, and I'm all wrapped up in knits, and I'm wearing like a little skirt and this beautiful, I love this one. It's the tulip pullover by Melody Hoffman, and it has these little modifications that I've done. And today has been quite difficult. The past few days have been a bit difficult for me. There's so much that needs to be done, and I really I feel stressed that I have to accomplish a lot of things and make a lot of money, work a lot. December is always like that for me. It's been like that the past years or so. And it shouldn't be, I know. So I know, the truth that we shouldn't, feel that stress. We shouldn't feel that pressure. But I still fall into that, and I need to constantly remind myself that it's not necessary in the end. And I'm going to talk about it a bit more, but I want to show you what I'm knitting on. This morning I was out with the dogs, and it was -2 degrees Celsius, so freezing, and I didn't have gloves, didn't have mittens, and I was just like so cold, and I decided that I would challenge myself to finish a pair of mittens for myself, because hats and mittens are never staying in my life. I either gift the hats and the mittens that I make, or I lose them. I don't know, it's a curse. I made the cloudburst mittens recently, and I love them, but I decided to gift them. I'm not going to say to who, but I decided to gift them, and so I wore them a couple of times, but then I decided that, I would wash them and block them and give them to someone, so I will have one less Christmas present to think about. And so now I don't have mittens. All the ones that I made before are gone, either gifted or lost. So I'm making mittens, and I cast these on today. I think it took me 4 hours. I cast them on when I casted them on English when I was editing the 4th episode, Vlogmas, and then I went on a walk with the dogs, and I was knitting on these. So I think probably like 4 hours it took me, and I'm using an amazing yarn. This is, now the color is not really showing like as it is in real life, because the lighting is artificial. There's my lamp, but it's an amazing yarn. This is a recycled wool yarn dyed with madder by Ida from the Athenian Maker, and this yarn, Ida, is amazing. I wish I could buy more and knit a sweater for myself, but she gifted me this, and I love it. No, I'll show it to you maybe tomorrow with a better lighting, but I've casted on and off this baby, and it's perfect. It's beautiful, it keeps me warm, and this yarn is 100 grams and 350 meters, so it's kind of like a spore way yarn, but I'm using needle size 2.25 or 2.5. So it's kind of like knitted at a very tight gauge. And I'm just kind of self-drafting the pattern. It's just 40 stitches, and I just knit in stockinette, and then I did some increases for the thumb, and then I put those stitches on hold. I think I put like 18 stitches on hold, and then I kept on knitting the rest of the hand, and then I picked up again those stitches for the thumb and knitted a couple of rounds and cast them off. So very excited, and I'm kind of challenging myself to finish the second one as well, because tomorrow and the weekend I am going to be super busy. My mom and my uncle are coming to visit us, which is really exciting, but it's also, it will keep us very busy, and I don't think I'll have much time to knit on these. So I want to have them ready for tomorrow so I can wear them as we go, on walks and shopping, whatever. So yes, I don't know if I'll manage, but I hope I'll have them done by tomorrow afternoon when they arrive. I hope so. I'm kind of hoping to finish them this evening, this night actually. It's 6:30 p.m. so maybe I could get them done in the next 4 hours. Now that I already figured out the pattern, so I need these. And I also finished the first clue on these mittens. These mittens, I'm in love. I'm loving this process. I cast it on. This is part of the Advent Mystery Mittens Knitalong, hosted by Nina from the A Crafter's Tale podcast. She's releasing each clue every Sunday, every Advent in December. So every week there is a section that you can knit. So this will take me 4 weeks, right? And I need mittens now, so I'm really excited to have these as well. But now I need a fast and quick and still very beautiful pair of mittens, and this will, I promise to myself and my hands, that will stay with me. I'll not gift them. Yeah, I love this yarn. I think I'll have enough to maybe knit a hat for myself, or maybe a color work bit on something. We'll see. But yeah, how is this December treating you? Because it's been challenging for me, and on top of that I decided to venture into this Vlogmas project, which I'm enjoying so much. I love to document what I'm doing. I would like to do it more often, but it's not that I'm earning much from it. It's mostly joy to share, but I'm working so much on it, and maybe it's very stupid. Maybe I should just, I don't know, film podcasts, because apparently that's what people love to watch. But yeah, I mean, one step at a time, I guess. And I still want to work and push through things, but I also need to unlearn this tendency to work my ass off. When I don't work, when I, kind of am lazy or more relaxed and I want to rest, I have all of this shame and, guilt for not working, but I'm always working. And in the end, it's what is work, and why is that the most important thing? And I want to challenge that belief, and I've been challenging it for the past years, but it still takes a lot of unlearning. And it's interesting because I grew up in a culture, the Italian culture, where working is the most important thing. The first thing that people ask you is what you do for work. And there is also a nice aspect to that, because, you know, when we dedicate our time to, it is important for us, but like to value it more than anything else is just, it's just sickening. I see people getting sick, and I burned out several times in my life. I worked 4 jobs at a time, and it never worked. I was never successful when I would do that. And interestingly enough, I am more successful when I'm rested. So I have that example and that knowledge and that wisdom in me. I know that, you know, I don't need to stress out, but like I have some beliefs that are still, or some, you know, roots of those old beliefs that are still in me. So I still fall into that super, you know, stressed working mode. But I think that is also very important to see examples in our lives or experienced people that are relaxed, that have a very calm and relaxed nervous system, especially women, I feel like, but you know, any gender in the end, it is really important to experience any gender that is relaxed. We need to experience people that are relaxed and they're fine and they're still taking care of themselves and responsible, but you know, having a very centered and relaxed attitude, and they take time to rest. And I think I didn't have many examples of those roles in my life. The people around me, I mean, my mom used to work a lot as well, and then she took a break from work to take care of herself and the household, and that's that's still work, you know, but not in the common view, whatever. And I crave to experience in myself and with others this amazing relaxed nervous system. And I do have it at times. We're not only one thing, you know, but other times I get stressed that I have to produce, I have to be working and like bringing money and all of that. I think that our view about the world and work and having a job in general, and you know, working your ass off and all of that, depends on the culture we grew up in and where we grew up. If we grew up in a little town or in the countryside, in a big city, in the Western world, in the Eastern world, whatever, you know, like it really, I don't know, I lived abroad in different countries for many years, and I experienced different cultures, how they perceive work. And I feel that the Italian culture is just, we have a constitution, and our first line on the constitution says Italy is a republic founded on work. So if that's a good translation, it's basically like that's the most important thing. And when you grow up in a culture that views work that way, is so damaging, because that's where your identity also starts to shape. And some people might think that Italians are very relaxed, but it all depends where, you know, where you go and visit Italy. Like, I'm from the north, which is a lot more, yeah, is a lot more like pushing and like working and grinding, having that type of mentality. Whereas if you go maybe southern, people are more relaxed and they take siesta, and they take breaks. And so it really, like, in each country there are micro worlds and micro realities. I bet that if you come from the US and a very like industrialized place, you're considering, my life or Italian, the Italian life a lot more relaxed. And in some ways it is. And in the end, it's all about choices, and it's all about where you grew up. Right. And I could talk for hours about it, because it's something that I think we really, really need to work on and unlearn. And I'm not having a 9 to 5 job. So, like, I'm a lot less stressed than a person that is working 2 or 3 jobs. But I have done that. And I know that that made me ill, sick. That didn't work for me. And while I love the kind of excitement and like movement of having a lot to do, also in terms of work, there should be some balance, because that can throw you completely off and can make you really, really sick. The most important thing to do, I think, is to stop comparing ourselves to others, and seek for examples or people that show us different ways or new ways or old ways of living. And I want that. I want to hang out and see people that are saying no to the grind or are saying no to burning themselves out because of work, and people that have a relaxed nervous system, people that work maybe even a lot, but they love it and they are very balanced in doing that. So I think it's very important to have those examples. And I think that in some ways I am an example for myself, for my old self. I, broke free from some patterns, and I got very lucky also. Like, I feel privileged that I'm living in the countryside and I don't have super, super many expenses. So in the end, we can slowly and with love and acceptance, we can maybe change and find our ways, but it's not that easy, and it takes time. It takes a lot of effort and compromises, and let go of some things that are not really needed in my life, and kind of live. Yeah, I want to live a simpler life. And my craft, knitting, has been giving me that sense of slowness and more connection to what my needs are actually, needs of feeling beautiful and also protected by clothings, and to make the things that I need. But also knitting can become stressful, right? Even though it's quite of a slow it's a slow practice, but can become stressful. People feel that they have to, podcasters and people in general that are maybe like seeing tons of people making tons of clothes and garments and accessories, and they're just like feeling like behind, feeling that they didn't make enough, and comparing themselves. And we're back to that concept of stopping to compare ourselves. That's absolutely very important. And the only real thing that I can truly do is to actually show up for the things that give me joy and for the people that give me joy. The rest is just like something that I can change if it's in my power. So, welcome to my TED Talk. I've been talking for a while now, And this is the progress. Yeah, thank you for listening. If you made it so far, maybe you can comment a fire emoji. Stay strong out there. Good morning. It's the next day. I'm drinking some hot chocolate that I made from scratch, and I have to thank Malene from the Nomade Knitter podcast. She inspired me. She always drinks hot chocolate, and she makes it, I think, from scratch. So, Malene, I want to jump on that train and learn to make hot chocolate. But let's go to the nitty-gritty, to the important question. Did she make it in time? Did she finish the pair of simple stockinette mittens? We got the church bell ringing. Well, she did. She finished them. They're amazing. I absolutely love them, and I finished them yesterday. Oh, this hand needs to be woven, but I finished them at midnight, and they're amazing. They're truly amazing. I didn't block them, but I think I'll just wear them and they will block themselves out, and then eventually I'll wash them. But this is the true color, and you can see how beautiful this is. This is probably the most beautiful red I ever seen. This is my favorite red, and sorry, it's full of my dog's hair. It looks lighter, but no, it's this. This is the color, and I have 70 something grams left. I have still enough to probably knit a hat, like a ribbed hat, simple ribbed hat. But I love this, and I think that when Ida will make more of this specific yarn, is the recycled wool, 100 grams in this color, I will buy more because it's amazing. I would love to have a full jumper in this color. So it took me from 6 p.m. in the evening to midnight. So it's technically 6 hours or something, but I did little things in between. I was, replying to some comments. I was just on my phone. I was eating something. I was making some teas. I was, feeding the fire. So it was just, I wasn't just like straight up 6 hours constantly knitting. I was doing some things, playing with the dogs and stuff. So I would say maybe 5 hours in total to make the second. So overall, a pair of mittens takes, like a pair of fingering weight mittens, because I use needle size 2.25. So it takes 8 hours, I would say, more or less, maybe 8.5. And if you knit at a bigger gauge with, chunkier yarns, it would take half of the time, 1/3 of the time. It all depends on the type of fabric that you want to achieve and the yarn that you have. But it's important to know that even like a tiny pair of mittens takes time. I'm sorry for the quality of the lighting. It feels everything is like blurred, but don't have time for that. So very happy for these mittens, and those who have been here before, I love you. You probably remember that I made a pair of mittens. There is a video, I'm gonna link it, where I shared like the pattern, and I made them like a red pair of mittens. They didn't have the same fit that these ones have. I prefer these ones where you increase for the thumb and those didn't. I just put some stitches on hold on the previous ones, and then I just knitted the thumb in the round. So this one I think are better than the pattern I shared, but those mittens were red as well. This is a more beautiful red, it's more warm, but I lost those mittens, so yeah, I lost them a year ago. So yeah, I'll have to edit so much off of this long chat. I hope you will have a wonderful weekend. I'll catch up with you on Sunday, and today is Friday, so Saturday I won't upload because I'm full, but Sunday I think I'll upload another episode. So big hugs and big kisses, and see you soon.